What is going down, my YouTube family? It is your boy Xery from the XMG, and I am here on Thursday night. Going to try to get this out to you on Thursday, and I'm just going to go over the defenders. I'm going to rank them. There is 12 defenders in this game, and I'm going to rank them 12th to 1, in my opinion. This is a question I get asked a lot, like, oh, who do you think's the best tank is? Who's the best healer? Who's this? Who's that? I get asked that a lot. So I figured, you know what? Let's make a video so I can talk about them. I'm just going to quickly go over why I have them where they're at. And when I'm doing this, I look at certain things. What do they bring to the game? What do they do to their race? What are they doing? Are they plug and play? Are they just hands down amazing? A lot of things go into it. And I'll go over it when I go over each character. So let's get into it. Number 12 for me is Hilda. Hilda, just, I can't find a spot for her. And her kit just doesn't make any sense to me. Her synergy with Snorri is just awful. Her shield, you get max shield, but her shield's so low, it really doesn't, I don't understand. You get taunt. If Snorri's an ally, you both get a damage increase, okay, but there's no synergy with this character. I mean, she could be like a faux tank if you really need one, but she doesn't even really have a place in the panda team. She gains an armor and a tenacity increase for 2 turns. Yay. You know, and she gains shield equal to 50% of the damage dealt, but her physical damage is... it's just... I don't like her. I wish she was good, but she's just not. And that's why she comes in at number 12. Number 11, Therian. Therian, the only reason he's not 12 is because he has a leadership, and that could help you out, right? His health and shield combo aren't bad, but he has no synergy with Soleus, and like throughout the whole campaign, all he talks about is Soleus, and you know, they're like best buddies, and he has no synergy with him. It doesn't make any sense. Like, he's your quintessential starter character. You know, like I said, the only reason he's not number 12 is because he has a leadership. This mini AoE makes no sense to me at all. To 3 enemies, it's just, why not everybody? I mean, his damage is so low anyways. It just doesn't make any sense. And then gains taunt and an armor increase, removes 2 debuffs, recovers health. Not too shabby on his taunting mechanism. 4 turn cooldown. And then he deals physical damage if they're an orc. Let's just cut that in the middle and just say he does 210, 220 physical damage. Like, it's just, he's just got a really weird kit. Like, his passive ability, physical armor by 25%. So he'll still get shredded by magic. At the end of the turn, Therian has a 50% chance to gain a dodge increase. Why isn't that 100? I just sank how many blue scrolls into this person, and I can't even get a 100% chance to get a dodge increase at the end of the turn. Just your quintessential starter character. Therian, number 11. Number 10, Kelrin. Kelrin's interesting. I don't dislike Kelrin like I did in the beginning. If you make him really fast, he can do some things. His taunt is kind of underwhelming. Increases magic armor on his passive. And 5% for each living elf in the party, so that's kind of nice. The Gale Throw with the armor decrease can be interesting. But, you know, look at his taunting mechanism. Tenacity increase for 2 turns. Removes 2 debuffs, recovers 25% health. I don't like the tenacity increase. Then here, if the target is the lowest health in their party, this target is guaranteed to be a critical. But he's a tank. Why is he doing critical hits? I just don't get it. And his health and shield combo, even for the defender, is low. It's just, he's an interesting character, can do some things, like niche things, but he doesn't deserve to be more than 10, in my opinion. Number 9, Mega Wheel. Mega Wheel. He's interesting. I'm working on team comps that involve Mega Wheel and how I can put him together based on his moves. His rework bumped him up for me. Mega Wheel I never really cared for. I really like how they gave him the synergy with Xantera. And that's interesting to me. You know, gains torture for 3 turns upon taking critical damage, or Xantera's healing. 30% chance to gain 1 additional stack. Each stack of torture increases armor and tenacity by 5%. Deals 220 physical damage to all enemies. Deals an extra 25 physical damage for each stack of torture. Removes 2 buffs. Gains taunt and torture for 2 turns. Gains a shield equal to 15% of his max health. Way better than Kelrin's. And then deals 230 physical damage to an enemy. Deals an extra 10 physical damage for each stack of torture. If Mega Wheel is the lowest health in the party, calls Xantera to assist if she's alive. His rework benefited him, and I'm trying to build like a demon comp that, or just work those two in together on a team. So that is to come. Mega Wheel is intriguing me ever since I read his rework, but he's still no more than number 9. Adam. Adam comes in at number 8, all because of Instructor Goram. But the more I use the goblins, the more I have appreciation for his kit. I still don't really care for it too much now with Arnold in the mix. But if you have Instructor Goram, you got to pair Adam with him. And you know, the damage decrease for 2 turns on his basic is actually really good. You know, damage sucks, but who cares? He's inflicting an armor decrease, but I don't even use that move, really. You gain shield equal to 40% of his max health. You don't really have to use that. And has a 70% chance to gain taunt. He's not, if you look at his kit, he's not abundantly good. You know, I ranked him as a trash character for a long time, but he's so vital to that General Murdoch team to keep them up and keep them alive. That's why I have him above Mega Wheel and Kelrin, Therian, and Hilda. Because what he does for that General Murdoch Goblin team. Kelrin doesn't do that for the elves. Mega Wheel doesn't do that for the demons. Hilda definitely doesn't do that for pandas. And Therian definitely doesn't do that for humans. So, Adam, number 8. Number 7, Kinley. I really like Kinley, but when it comes to defenders, he's just not as good as everything else. He does have a good lead. You know, for me, I still think, besides Lake, he's the second best panda lead, you know, between him, Chi, and Lake. It does some things. You get 30% to your max health. They recover 5% health on a critical hit, so he can definitely help you out, you know, with your panda team. Passive ability, recovers 20% health at the start of his turn. Fantastic for a defender. Gains taunt and a dodge increase for 2 turns, removes 2 debuffs, recovers 25% health. I'll take that all day. This is the one that gets me, though. Deals 300 physical damage to an enemy, 50% chance to apply a tenacity increase to 3 allies for 1 turn. I don't understand that move at all. It just doesn't fit like the rest of his kit. It you know, deals 170 physical damage. This attack deals 50 more crit damage. If the target has full health, the attack is guaranteed to land a critical hit. Why? Why do we have 2 tank abilities where they're guaranteed to land a crit? It doesn't make any sense. I mean, for his lead, I get it. You can use his basic. Where is that? Critical hit dealt. They get 5% of their health back. Okay, but he's not a game changer for the pandas. But he is in a way, if it makes sense. Like, he should be in a panda team. But he's just not a game-changing defender. So, he's middle of the road here. Number 7 for me. Number 6, Titania. A lot of people didn't get to use Titania. And I understand that. She's good. Passive ability, gauge a dodge increase by 5% for each living healer or mage in the party. Twice more for elf healers and elf mages. If there is no taunt on Titania, she recovers 5% of her turn meter when ally healers and mages take damage. Twice more if they're elf healers or elf mages. She is like a poor man's Kiri almost. Removes 1 debuff from herself. Allied healers and mages. Gains taunt, cheat death, counterattack for 2 turns. Yeah. Wild Hunt, 330 physical damage for each living elf in the party. Titania has an extra 20% chance to call in a random elf to assist. If that target is a bleeding, she puts on ability block. Awesome. Could you imagine calling in Thelaine or Wonderlua? Amazing. And then 220 physical damage, gains a dodge increase for 1 turn on a basic, inflicts bleeding for 2 turns upon landing a critical hit. Yeah, she's just got a really, really good kit. She plays really well. She fits in well with the synergy of an elf team. She is a really good character, and I enjoyed playing with her. Still middle of the pack for me. You know, she doesn't take the elves to a brand new level. She does make them harder to kill, but very good character. Number 6, Titania. Number 5, Salvador. Crucial to a pride team with Hera. When he puts up his steel shell, he's dang near unkillable. If you go into a pride team where Salvador gets his taunt up first, he gets the dodge increase in steel shell, you're going to be there for a while. Unless you have a dispeller. Salvador can really, really soak up the damage and take the damage. You know, his kit isn't super overwhelming, but the point of the defender is to be able to sit there and soak up damage, and that's exactly what he does. 40% chance to gain a shield equal to 10% of his maximum health on a basic. 400% of physical damage to an enemy, gains taunt for 2 turns, so at least he's doing something. Steel Shell gains for 2 turns. Steel Shell decreases all damage taken by 90%. And then you have a 1 in 2 shot, a 50% chance of getting debuff immunity for 2 turns. And then it increases physical armor by 35% and an additional 5% for each living pride in the party. Once that Steel Shell comes down, you can magic damage him down quickly, but he's just your old school quintessential tank. You don't want to put any speed on him because you're going to be pairing him with Hera. He's going to get that taunt right away. Then you put up your Steel Shell, and he just becomes the pinata. So I really, really like Salvador. He is number 5 for me because he is the quintessential defender, and he does it really well. Number 4 is Arnold, and Arnold's kit is not overwhelming at all. Why is he number 4? Because this is a defender's list, and he is hard to kill. I mean, 92,000 health and shield combination I have him at, gear 11 plus, I get it. But he just, if you get stuck behind him, the goblins will run the train on you, and you're smoked. He's a very, very good defender. Just the meat shield, does what you want him to do. He soaks up the damage. He stops people from attacking your goblins around you. Super good character. Number 4 defender in the game for me. Number 3 still has to be little Batty for me. And I just like her kit. I like what she brings to the table. She is a little squishier as the game's progressing. You know, she does die a little bit faster as people are doing more damage. You're seeing somebody like Arnold come in, right? But what she brings is the decreased turn meter on her A1, 85% chance to decrease 25% turn meter on a basic, dispel on her shield throw. You gotta love that. Removes 1 buff and you gain taunt. That's an awesome move. Blind on her 3rd ability. It's only a 30% chance, but it's an AoE blind. And then her passive ability, she has cheat death. So her kit is so good. I just really still like her as a defender, what she brings. You know, turn meter manipulation, blinds, taunting, buff removing. You just got to make her a little bit more tanky in this day and age. But to me, she's still a top 3 defender. Her and Arno, you could make a case for her, you know, but it's just, for me, she's still number 3 because of what that kit has in store for her. Number 2 for me is Tromgar. Tromgar is still a machine. He is still so good. I mean, and it's his kit. He's a plug-and-play dream. I mean, how many people used him in a Soleus team before they had little Batty? I mean, I did. I fought him in the arena all the time, so I know I'm not the only one, but, you know, his lead. He has a lead, too. Both potency and tenacity of all allied orcs increased by 30. For each debuff an allied orc inflicts, orcs recover 5% of their health. Pretty underrated. Passive ability. Defensive stance. I don't really care for this move. He gets 2 stack of regeneration and dispels all debuffs on him. Doesn't matter how many he has, all of them. And then he recovers 10% health. I mean, people are getting removed 2 debuffs. Nope. Tromgar, all of them. Taunting mechanism, probably the best one in the game. Taunt, counterattack, simply because we all know he stuns on his basic at a 35% chance. You put tenacity on this guy and just make him tanky, and he is a nightmare. Early game, mid game, still at the end game, you can be a pain in the neck. Very deserved of number 2. Could have been my number 1, but very deserved of number 2. Number 1 for me is Kiri, and people can debate me on this all they want, but I love her. I love her mechanics. I like the way she plays. You get her a little bit speedy. She had some good things to the table. Recovers 15% turn meter upon taking damage, and counterattack restores shield by 10%. Gains taunt. Armor increase for 2 turns. Recovers 10% of the turn meter for each living demon, and then restores shield by 20% of her max health. Right? Deals 240 physical damage to all enemies. Recovers 50% of the health of the damage dealt. 50% chance to decrease enemy's turn meter by 15%. If the enemy is inflicted by slow, decreases the turn meter by 30%. Turn meter manipulation. I mean, with buff, and you can neuter teams. And then deals 260 physical damage, 50% chance to inflict heal block for 2 turns. If the target is inflicted by heal block, it applies bleeding. So you're getting heal block, turn meter manipulation. Her taunt's going up and down. She has a very solid AoE. She does pretty good damage for a defender. She's not plug-and-play viable as a Tromgar, but there's nothing saying you can't. You put her with a bleed team. She's a tank for a bleed team. I've messed around with it. It's pretty good. She can be plug-and-played, but just she takes that demon comp up. It makes it so much harder to kill with a 7-star Gear 11 Kiri than a 7-star Gear 11 Mega Wheel, or even a 5-star Kiri. She gets 7 stars, she goes up to another level. I mean, you're looking at 40 plus both armors. Health and shield combination is like 69k or 70k. She's just a extremely good character. You can build her different ways. You could build it for speed, you could build it for damage, you can build her just to be tenacity tank. She can do more for you than just taunt. So that's why she's my number 1. So there it is, my YouTube family. There is my breakdown of defenders in the game. 12 through 1. And that's what I think. And I'm going to be releasing healers, and I'll go through Dragon Slayers and all that stuff, because everybody keeps asking me. So that is what I got for you today. So if you're just finding me for the first time, please consider hitting that subscribe button. For all my XMG family members out there, you know I love you. See you in the next one. I'm out.